Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to this Twitch stream of for Geek Therapeutics. Tonight, I'm Ben Woerner. I'm your game master. I'm going to be running the game Knights of Underbed for all of you here, and I think we already have everyone's characters really already chosen out. So if we could go around the group, I'm going to just kind of go in a circle what I can see on my screen. So Patrick, go ahead and tell us who your character is and one or two fun, cool things about your character.
I'm going to be Bert, the Bear Paladin.
Okay.
Let's see. He's apparently a healer and has a shield skill, which I'm pretty excited about. Always like being the tank. So
Awesome. Cool. All right. Up next, we have Joshua.
Hey, I'll be playing Pingui the Penguin, who's a bit of a toy gadgeteer repair type person. And he's always being followed by a little rubber ducky who doesn't actually talk, but does squeak and occasionally squirts water.
Awesome. Fantastic. And then next we have Craig. Oh, you're muted, Craig.
I am Hampton, Squeak Lord of Doom. I am a hamster in a ball, and I will roll over you.
Fantastic. And then next we have Paul. Oh, again muted.
So very sorry. I'm Princess Foxy. If you can think of Helen Mirren from maybe Red, that she's very proper, but please don't cross her.
Okay, awesome. And then finally we have Dylan.
Ahoy, mateys. I be Captain Brickman. Well, not really. I'm Jamie Brickman. Or maybe Brickman Banana. I am made of Megos, and my form changes.
Fantastic. All right, so tonight we're going to play Knights of the Underbed, but I haven't prepared an adventure for anyone because one of the big fun things for Knights of the Underbed is you all are going to help me create the adventure. And the way we do that is we're going to go around in a circle and we're going to share certain things that are true about this world that we're about to build together collaboratively. So a couple things. As we go around, I'm going to ask you for one thing that is true, like a true fact about something that's in this world. And it can be, there's a couple different like large categories that we cover. The first one being themes or threats. You know, maybe there's a storm going on outside, or it's Christmas time, or some other major holiday. The other big thing you can add is locations. Currently, we all know that all of you, actually, and we'll jump ahead a little bit, we also know that there are faces, which are like specific people, and then there are groups. Those are like the four major categories that you can add something to. We all know that you are all brave Knights of the Underbed for Billy the Brave, who is the child who you all protect from monsters and nightmares who try to attack Billy. You also know that you're located in Billy's house, and Billy has a room here in this house. And we also finally know that there's a group called Knights of the Underbed, who are a group of knights who's, of course, come from the Underbed, the great city of Underbed, which is a place where under all beds you can travel to, and there you can enter into the Dreamlands. And the Dreamlands is where all monsters and nightmares come from, but also all sorts of wondrous, fantastic things like Spider-Man and Superman and nah, I'm drawing a blank for all the wondrous things. But that's where all of this comes from. So I'm going to go around the group, and then we're going to come back around. So everyone's going to get to add two specific things. And after you tell me the one thing, I'm going to ask you some like kind of probing questions to like flesh it out a little bit. So let's see, who should we ask first? I'm going to ask. Let's ask Patrick again, right there at the front. what is something that is true about our setting, our place here in the game?
Oh man, I'm on the spot. Okay.
It could be like more family members. It could be like something about Billy's house or room.
I have this idea about like what happens like the messier his room gets.
Okay.
So like as Billy gets like as his room gets more and more cluttered or more and more disorganized, like I'm wondering if that has like an effect on the world.
Okay.
I'm drawing from like personal experience with my kids. I feel like they get more disorganized as the rooms get more disorganized. And so it's like maybe like it increases the level of chaos within the world that they live within.
Okay. So let's see. As Billy's room gets messier, so does the chaos in the world of the Knights. Okay, now let me ask you this. Is Billy's room currently spotless, sort of messy, or very messy?
Oh man. It's going for me, dude. It's filthy. This place is disgusting and like things are just out of hand. Like they were okay. And
what was that? They were okay and then
they were okay, and then it's just gotten more and more insane.
Okay.
So the once peaceful world that we lived in is now topsy-turvy.
Okay. Alrighty. Joshua.
So two things. One is that he has Billy has a younger sister who is still crawling around, just starting to crawl, not running yet, but also means that almost all toys are always within reach. And the other part is that the house itself is a 2-story house, and Billy's
Actually,
room.
hold on. Let's
So sorry.
Save that for the next time. When we come back to you, let's talk more about the younger sister. Do you have a name for the younger sister?
Let's go with Anna.
Okay. Anna. All right, younger sister is crawling. So toys within reach. And what's another thing that's true about Anna? How does Billy feel about Anna? Or maybe tell me how do the Knights feel about Anna?
I'll take the easy route out and say Billy likes his sister, so and like welcomes her into the room, which may have contributed to the current chaos. But still just kind of, rolls his eyes and like will push some toys towards Anna to watch her play while he's doing whatever it is he's doing.
Okay. But keeps her occupied, say, with
Megos or other sorts of things.
Yeah. Other toys. Okay. All right. Next up, we have. I keep opening the wrong thing. Okay. Next up, we have Craig.
You want something new or something related to what's already been said?
I can be totally new. We have themes and threats. We have locations, faces, groups.
All I know is that as the non-toy in the group, I am not thrilled about this younger sister, and will avoid her like the plague because she wants to hug me and squeeze me and treat me like a plushie, and I am not. I don't know if there are any other pets in the house. I haven't seen any.
Okay. No, go on. Sorry.
Pretty sure that I'm the only one.
All right. Are you? Let me ask you this. Are you a family pet or are you Billy's pet?
Billy's pet.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Mom doesn't like me.
Okay, hold on real quick. Da-da-da. Hampton, where's your space age hamster hideout with all of your tunnels and whatnot?
It is on the windowsill near between the bed and the closet. And it's multi-level. I can go up to the windowsill and I can go down to the floor. I'm not supposed to get out of it, but
I'm pretty sure that your hamster ball has a connection to one of the tunnels so that you can go into the hamster ball and seal it and then, explore this terrain of, this alien terrain of a messy room, probably.
I'm not sure that they intended that I should be able to get into the ball on my own. But I am
Probably not.
I am much more resourceful than they give me credit for.
Right. And it's between where did you say, between the bed and the window?
Bed in the closet. It
Bed and
goes up to
closet.
the window and down to the floor.
Okay, cool. All right. So we've got a little bit more about Billy's room. Paul.
Well, yes. Because of all the dirt, you see, these villains called dust mites have invaded under the bed, and they must be dealt with.
The dust mites. And tell me other things that are true about the dust mites.
Well,
Are they more like bugs, or are they like sentient dust, or are they something else?
they are sentient dust.
Okay. And what is it that they are trying to accomplish?
Well, I believe they would like to take over this room. I think they would like to simply make us vanish by making us filthy and dirty, making us either have to go to the washing machine or be tossed away to the thrift store.
Of course. One second, real quick. Okay. And then Dylan.
I'm going to add a location in
Awesome.
a different room. There is a large Linux ball tower that was built by Billy and operates by moving balls down and up, and in the dream world can be used to make anything. Though in the real world, it just moves balls up and they go down.
Wow, with Linux.
Linux, trademark.
That's right. This is obviously a company from, Finland. And okay, so it moves balls up and down. Where in the house is it?
I would say the basement.
Okay, basement. Always a grand place to have stuff. Okay, so it's a large Linux ball tower, moves balls up and down, but is in the Dreamlands. It can create anything, and it's in the basement. Tell me one other thing that's in the basement besides the ball tower.
That is also where all the board games are kept.
So then, am I assuming, is this basement finished, or is this like an unfinished basement?
I like unfinished. Feels more in line with the chaos theme.
Cool. All right. All right, now we're going to go back the other way for stuff. So, Dylan, you get to go again.
All right. There is a hand-me-down toy that has been around for decades to accompany us and maybe even guide us. But it's not Billy's. It belongs to someone else.
All right, what is the name of the toy and what type of toy is it?
I'm going to say it's a transforming toy, can be a vehicle or a animatronic man machine. Excuse me, I'm having too much fun with this.
No worries.
And its name should be called Robotus Primo.
I'm sorry, you cut out. Was it Robotus Primo?
Robotus Primo.
Let's see real quick here. Where was that? Yes. The microclones. Okay, and it is a transforms between an animatronic man and a, what was the vehicle?
I didn't say one in particular. Let's go with the
Okay.
truck.
Okay. Hand me down. Is this from a parent or an older sibling or a grandparent?
I'm fine with any if someone else wants to add a character.
Okay. And then one last thing. You said, you actually already said. Okay. Very well. Okay, cool. Their mentor guide to the Knights of the Underbed. Fantastic. All right, now back to Paul.
Yes, I did hear something. It is the fall, but it's not quite Christmas, and there's something about a toy drive going on at school where they'll either take new or maybe slightly used toys. It's very concerning, though.
Okay. And I'm guessing has one of Billy's parents started a toy drive box by the front door?
Yes, they have, but they're leaving it up to Billy to make these choices to decide which toys he'd like to give.
Okay.
I have a list of nominations, by the way, if you care.
Is there are there any other details you want to add about the toy drive?
Well, it is coming up soon. And
You need to make decisions soon.
Yeah, a decision must be made soon. Yes.
Okay, so this is our Chekhov toy drive.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. Craig.
I don't want to alarm you, but I've been in the basement. And there are mice and rats in the basement.
Oh, no.
And quite frankly, they're jerks.
Well, the mice and rats that live in the basement, are they organized? Are they like an outfit? Or are they just like, multiple warring clans of mice and rats?
The mice are together. They're a family. Because you know how mice are.
Right.
The rat is all by itself, and the mice are afraid of the rat. I am not afraid of the rat. Not really. Can't prove it.
Is there a specific place where the mice and or rat live in the basement? Are they in the board games, or are they?
They live in the walls, and the sewer grate in the back room by the laundry detergent.
Yes.
The games are delightful. There's a lot of pieces in paper that need chewing.
Very much so. It's like a charcuterie board or a smorgasbord. Yes, of paper. All right. Is there anything else you want to add about the jerk rat or the mice family?
No. I'm pretty comfortable with them because I'm in my ball.
That's right. Yeah, totally.
Don't take me out of
They're
my
not
ball.
a threat. Totally.
Don't take me out of my ball.
That's right.
Not downstairs.
Yeah. All right, Joshua.
All right. So Billy and Anna's mother, Camille, is a very busy woman, but she tries to keep everything clean. But she also wants to give kids, her children, creative space. So while Billy's room getting chaotic, getting dirty, isn't something that she likes, she encourages him to clean his room on his own and doesn't like necessarily want to come in. The truth is that she's a tired mother, who works during the day and is taking care of the rest of the house as well. So
On his own. Is Camille Camille?
Camille.
Okay.
I guess it
Encourages
really
Billy
matter.
to clean his room on his own. Tired, overworked mom. Also has a toddler. So
Yep.
yeah. Is Robotus Primo Camille's?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Camille got it as part of, the running trend of creative toys and different things. She received it. She got Robotus Primo whenever the cartoons were first, airing, and she got the Robotus Primo because it was, a nifty toy that encouraged play and creativity.
It was that toy in
It was
1987, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
We all remember it.
I got it because my dad was the manager of a jewelry store next door to a KB toy store, and he was friends with the manager, and like no one got it. The crazy thing is we didn't have a TV, and the only way I would like see any cartoons was at my grandparents, like half an hour a day, and so I didn't even watch it, and I had no idea what it was, and all my friends were like super jealous. I'm like, okay. Ended up giving it to my friend Ricky like a year later. But yeah, there you go. All right, so Robotus Primo was Camille's. Awesome. And is there anything else you want to add about Camille?
If Billy doesn't start to put toys in the toy box, Camille's probably going to start volunteering toys.
Okay. Very
Hampton
well.
is not a toy.
True. I mean, schools always do need more pets, though. You've heard that before, right? Like third grade classrooms having their own pet pythons.
Why does Hemi the hamster have a brown dot instead of a black one this week?
All right. Finally, back to Patrick.
All right. Okay. So since the underbed is a portal to dreamland,
Mhm.
I'm
There can be
one-
multiple portals, by
Okay.
the way. We
So
also have the
I'm
portal with the ball tower. Sorry, but go
okay.
ahead.
Oh, I gotta write that down. Hold on. Gotta get this lore down. All right. So there's multiple portals. So we have the one under the bed, and we have the ball tower. I'm thinking of what people in Billy's world function sort of as like elder gods, and how we might be able to contact them, and
Okay.
what the effects would be on our world of motivating in some way, like Camille. Is she a god to them, right? Like Billy's a god to them. Like Camille is like an elder god. And maybe Robotus Primo is like Camille's avatar in their world. And so we have this whole like like hierarchy of the deities within
Okay.
their world.
I need to put this down under themes really quickly. Hold
Okay.
on. This is awesome. Uh, okay, so Camille is like an elder god to the knights. Billy is the knights' god. Primo is Camille's avatar. What else did you want to add? Or is there something I missed?
I don't know. You got to stop me at some point. But let me think. I had a part of an idea forming about this. Yeah, and that let's see. So Bert's a paladin, but a paladin of who? So I guess
Billy.
he's kind of working. Yeah, okay, of Billy. Got it. Yeah, I'll stop there.
Okay,
I'm afraid to go further.
no worries. Uh, okay, so it is 30 minutes into our stream right now. I'm going to take 5-10 minutes to look at all this amazing stuff you gave me, and I'm going to come up with an adventure for all of us. And during that time, I'd like it if all of you need to take bio breaks, get water, snacks, whatever, and come back, and we'll be ready to play as soon as I'm ready. So let's say um, at like it's going to be 30. It'll be 41. So it's 6:31 my time. So 6:41, or so let's say 6:42 my time, or whatever your time is. All right, be right back. 10 minutes, everyone.
I asked my wife if we had something that I could paint whiskers on my face, and she looked at me and she said, "Sweetie, you have whiskers on your face."
Appropriate answer.
She's the smarter one. Yeah. This reminds me a lot of the Stuffed Fables game.
I don't know when that came out. I think it came out, maybe around the same time as my game did.
Oh, this is your game.
What?
This is your game.
Yeah. That's my name. We did the Kickstarter in 2017, but the 2019 is when this finally got printed because of life and all that stuff. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I think Stuffed Fables came out like right before my Kickstarter happened, and I had never heard of it at all. Also, there's like a board game, I guess, that's like similar to this. That is like also something I hadn't heard of. So there's definitely this like genre of like toys coming to life sort of thing that exists out there that like kind of in the zeitgeist. The thing that actually inspired me was not just telling stories to my kids and Toy Story, but also there was this like sepia toned black and white image of this little kid sleeping on their bed and this teddy bear with a wooden sword pointing the sword up at this giant horrific looking monster that's like reaching over the bed towards the kid. And I'm almost certain, like anytime I describe it, like at least half the people that I'm talking to are like, oh yes, I've seen that, right? Like that, like right there I was like, this needs to be a role-playing game. And my friend John was like, well, you better write it. And I was like, gosh dang it, okay. And so I did.
Yours is more of a role-playing game. The Stuffed Fables is more of a, I mean, it's kind of role-playing, but it's really designed for kids, and it's a map book game.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's what I was thinking. Yeah, the role, like it's more of a it's a hybrid between like a role-playing and board game. Yeah,
with a lot more dice and things involved. Yours is a simpler system.
Yeah. I definitely wanted it to be a simple system. I wanted kids who are like early readers and maybe even a couple kids who are pre-reading, if they had like a parent with them, could play this game. I want it to be pretty straightforward to focus on the story.
There's also another one where it's an older version where you actually play with real stuffed animals and give them stats and they battle each other and things like that.
Well, that's
I don't remember what that one's called, but I've played it.
one of the things I did in playtest was I told people show up with your toy or your plush, and
Mhm.
we'll make your character. And we did that a whole bunch, lots of times. I've had a BB-8. We created BB-8 in a game once, and all sorts of fun stuff. All right, I'm almost done here.
Sorry, I distracted you.
The worst. It's okay.
Pengy, do you have a penguin in your background now?
This is actually the artwork from the book, from the Kickstarter. So I switched it. You can't see it on stream because it's cropped down. But yes, it is the artwork from the Kickstarter of the troop of toys that we are playing as, fighting versus a shadow. Yeah, there
Very
it is.
impressive. Very impressive.
It's yeah, it's part of the troop, right? Not Hampton and Brickman aren't in the art for that because they were going to be expansions that because actually, insider note, this started as a card and dice game where it's a co-op. I'm actually gonna probably next year, when things are calm and I'm not doing my masters, or I'm not in the intensive for my masters, gonna put the card and dice game out. Basically, you choose a kid and a knight, and you combine them, and each one has a different power that you get. And then there's a deck of monsters, and then there's a house, which is like their cards as well. And you have to keep the monsters out of the kid's bedroom, and you roll dice and match them to the monster cards, and that's how you defeat the monsters. And then the nightmare is the last card, and if you can defeat the nightmare, you win the game. So yeah. All right. So I have let's see. Okay. All right, I'm ready. Is everyone ready? We good?
Yep.
Okay. It is a dark and stormy night. The day has been long and chaotic. Toys and clothes and food wrappers and plates and all sorts of things that shouldn't be, on the floor of a kid's room are scattered about Billy's room, on shelves. There's like cleats and dirty socks that stink up, one corner, and there's like a wet, moldy, mildewy jacket in another corner. The lightning crashes outside, and Hampton's space age Fortress of Solitude shines on its plastic edges. And you see the tower up above where Hampton can climb up and look about the bedroom. And the plastic all the way down to the floor as well, the tunneling. And the four of you who aren't in Hampton's Fortress of Solitude, where are you in the room right now while Billy sleeps soundly in the early hours of the night?
Pingy is walking around the room trying to find, amongst all the clutter and the chaos, what are parts and bits that he can pick up and add to his collection to help himself build things that will make situations better, but then two, kind of help Billy clean up this mess, because it's even for Pingy, it's getting to be a little much.
A little okay. Yeah, you're searching through the detritus, and there's like, little things. Oh, here's a Roosevelt log that you could put in your backpack. It's got those little cutouts that you could probably use for something fun, maybe like a pole or something, and just different things like that. Let's see, Foxy and Brickman and Bert, where are all of you?
I am patrolling, walking back and forth throughout under the bed and so forth, just keeping my eyes open, wondering
Okay.
what foul things might be afoot.
Well, there's definitely a foul sock. No feet in it though, but it is a foul sock right there, hanging off the bed. It's one of those long soccer socks. The bottom half is now stiff from the amounts of sweat from the kid wearing, from Billy wearing the sock, 3 or 4 times to soccer practice.
Oh, I
And
poke it with my space gun. Ugh.
and the smell of sweat and Cheeto foot just like wafts over you. It does not go well with your eau de parfum. That
No,
yeah,
no.
no. Brickman.
Well, Jamie is digging through the small container of Megos to see if he can come up with any new outfits for himself. But unfortunately, he's not really as creative as Billy is, so he's having a rough time with this.
Yeah, there's like 5 of those black and white space trooper outfits that you're just like, oh, not another one.
Yeah,
that you've
what are you
gone
gonna do with
through.
that?
Yeah, an evil space lord. That's that's lame. And yeah, so many of those. And then there's wizard school outfits, and you're just like, maybe, I don't know.
You got just small pieces, random pieces, and little one brick ones. What do you even do with those?
There's a little cheese wedge, piece, and you're
What
like,
do
I
you do
could
with
put it on
that?
my head, but then I'd just be like a sports fan, So, um, so yeah, you're digging through the smaller box, which is just minifig type stuff or Brickman type stuff, and the large box of Megos is just beyond there, and it's open, and it's kind of spilling over, almost like a sand dune of Megos, of this multicolored rainbow of and then Bert, where are you?
Bert is folded in half and being used as a pillow at the moment
Yes.
because God knows where Billy's actual pillow is in this mess. I'm trying to extract myself. My head is folded up on my back, and my little legs are just trying to walk out from under. I'm just slowly undoing myself.
Foxy noticed the pillow. It's down between the nightstand and the the bed. It's slid off and down there. At the start of your patrol, you're like, oh, hello, this is right here. And Bert, give me a test to see if you can get out easily here.
I would love to.
Let's see.
If I have any.
Yeah, just you don't have any traits specifically, I don't think.
No.
Okay, so 2d6.
I have a 5. And a 3.
Fantastic. All right, so you pull the 5 is a success. So after a few moments, you feel Billy's head just slowly slide off of you, and you pop free, and you stand up, and you see your shield and sword over by on the nightstand there, and you can see that in the between that there's the top of the pillow there. If you wanted to pull that up as well. And Foxy, give me a test, a perception test. So that's just going to be a straight up 2d6 for you.
6 and a 4.
All right, cool. Also, actually, I'm sorry. Also, at the same time, Hampton, give me a perception check. I don't know if you have anything for that either. It's probably going to just be a 2. Yeah, it's just going to be 2d6 as well. Okay. All right. So you are busy looking out, surveying across the vast, chaotic landscape of this room, the hills and valleys of dirty laundry and toys lying about. And Jamie, you are deep in the Migo container. Penguin, you're out patrolling amongst the craziness, and Foxy, you are just finishing your first rotation around just like the right under the edge of the bed, and you hear the shuffling sounds of dust mites, and you look underneath the bed, and normally that's a way you would walk through to get to the Dreamlands and to the great city of Underbed, where all Knights of the Underbed who have retired go to reside, where the great citadel of the Knights of the Underbed is, and the goblin markets and all the great wonders of the city of Underbed. But it also can be a passage to anywhere in the Dreamlands. And as you look, you see the telltale tumble dust ball roll past you, and little red eyes start to glow in the dark, and they just proliferate. And everyone roll me initiative. And then go ahead and put it in chat.
I forget, what is initiative?
Oh, that's great. It is 2d6, and then just add them together. Okay, Bert.
I have as Hampton has vigilance. So do I roll 3 dice 6 for that, or is that just a trait that comes in at certain times?
Oh no, you roll 3 dice for that one.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so
Okay. Then that's an 11.
all right.
I have some questions.
Sure. I'll answer in just a second. Let me get these
Fair enough.
sorted out real quick here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Where was it? This.
Hampton is a patient hamster.
Good. And then we have Bert and Brickman, who both had an 8. Who wants to go next? You can work it out between the two of you. You're both on mute too.
I think I'm more occupied with my current project.
All right.
I'll go.
All right. Bert. 8. Let's see. So Penguin is a 4 and Foxy is a 5. Okay. Cool. All right. So what was your question real quick?
So in my Fortress of Solitude, is Billy responsible for cleaning out my shavings, or is that a mom thing?
Well, since Mom kind of gave Billy the job of taking care of Billy's room, it would definitely be a Billy thing.
So the chaos outside matches the chaos inside?
If you're a fastidious hamster, it may be that you've organized it better than anything that Billy has done.
No, I'm not. However, it does mean that I need to go out and communicate with Billy that it's time to clean out my solitude.
Yeah, of course. Unfortunately, Billy's deep in sleep right now.
Yes, but that's the best time to communicate. I go out and I find something important and chew it into little bits.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yes. So I will move towards my hamster ball.
Okay. In fact, when you start moving down towards your hamster ball, Foxy, because you noticed on your perception check right before initiative starts, you get to act if you want. You get one action. You can either rush towards them. You can also, as a free action, call out if you want.
I would
Or-
have a system for this, and I believe I have a flashlight under there that I would jump up and down on multiple times, which is the dust mite warning system.
Okay, of course, yes.
So,
All right, fantastic. So, Hampton, as you were climbing down your tunnel down towards the launch bay for the ball of doom, you see the light flashing from under the bed. You know, the dust mite warning system, exactly. So you quickly climb into your ball. You seal the hatch. You turn it real quick, and it's now your turn to act. You have 2 actions. You can where did I put my thing? Oh, here we go. You can attack, you can move, you can evade, and you can focus. And you
Right.
can do any of those twice or any combination of those.
So my first action is going to be to move,
Okay.
get the ball rolling
Okay.
towards the underside of the bed, at least the border of the underside of the bed,
Yep.
to see what I can see.
All right. Because your hamster ball of doom is so awesome and it takes 2 traits, one of the things is you get to move 45 inches in a round instead of the standard other things, although it cannot climb things. So you get in the ball and you start booking it and you run right up to the edge of the bed. And the hamster ball goes tick or clink as the bottom of the bed frame and the hamster ball kind of run into each other. So you're slightly, it's like no vehicles over this high into this area. So you hit the edge and you see all these dust mites. Fortunately, you don't have to try to get out and get under the bed because the dust mites are rolling out from under the bed. This wave of barbarian dust mites, if you will.
Okay. Are they out far enough where I can make an attack on them, or do I need to taunt them out?
No, they're coming out.
Okay.
All their red eyes and their piles of dust.
I will roll over them.
Okay. Give me an attack roll.
Okay.
You wanted to use your hamster ball of doom, I'm assuming?
Of course.
Okay, so you rolled 2d6.
Yep. 2d6, standard roll. I rolled a 2 and a 5.
Okay, fantastic. You smash down, because you do 2 points of damage with your hamster ball, you smash down 2 of the dust mite horde that is rolling forth.
To arms! Dust mites!
Fantastic.
You
And
dirty
then
little bugger.
the dust mites go. And Foxy, a swarm of small dust mites come towards you, and they all swing at you, but they're small and ineffective and dusty, and the most that they do is they cover you in some dust, and don't actually do any damage to you. But their fierce chittering of their little dusty voice and their little red eyes pierce you and chill you to the bone. Hampton, another set of dust mites try to attack you, and one squeezes through the air holes in your ball, gets inside, and shoots itself. It squeezes through, and you look up at it and you go, ah! And it shoots down your throat and it makes you cough, and cough up dust, and just the worst dry mouth ever. And so you take 1 point of damage.
No. Now, does that foregoes the 3 points of armor that I have from my
Yes,
ball of doom?
it does. Because they're attacking.
Well, that's just not right.
I know, it's terrible. They're dust; they can get everywhere.
Okay.
All right. And then where was that? Bert, you see down below you on the ground this puff of gray spreading out from under the bed as it rolls over, like Hampton rolls over some of it, and then just this wave of dust rolls over top of Hampton's ball. And you think you hear Foxy down there too. You definitely saw the light going off.
Did I miss my opportunity to shout to get out of his air hole?
You can shout that.
Can I do that as a free act? Okay.
Yes.
I shout that. Get out of
Uh-huh.
his air holes. And can I fall without injury?
You can.
Flush?
That would be like a move action.
Okay.
So yeah, I would make that as a move action. So
I just like tip off the edge of the bed.
yeah, or just step off it if you want. Yeah.
No, I want to fall just clumsily. Off the
Okay,
bed.
that's totally cool.
And I want to land with like a sound.
Poof. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
concentric rings of dust mites.
Exactly. So what's your next action?
Now that I've landed, let's see. Can I declare a smite, or that's an action by itself?
Yeah, it's one of your parts of your paladin thing. So it's a smite action. So it's like an improved damage sort of thing.
Right. I'm gonna go and get after these things a bit, I think.
Okay.
Let's see. Hold on. So, Hampton, are you injured? Have you taken damage? Damage?
A little bit.
Okay. I'm going to use my healer action.
Okay.
To aid my comrade.
How do you get to me? I'm in my ball of doom.
Good question. Is it magical healing?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right.
So you're like the only one that can actually heal Hampton.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so you can roll 2d6 and just put your hand up against the ball and magically heal Hampton if you need to.
Okay, I'm gonna try to magically
All right.
heal Hampton. I got a 6.
Fantastic.
I put my hand against the clear ball and close my eyes, and the little twinkle in my black eyes emerges. And I siphon out the dust mites.
Yeah. And Hampton, you are healed now. You're no longer hurt.
Sweet.
This is all happening on the left-hand side of the bed.
Thanks, Bert.
Like between the window and the bed area. And up next is Jamie. You heard all the commotion, and you stick your head up out of the Migos Brickman box, and you see right, that was behind you. Now you're looking back towards the bed. Right there, there's Bert and Hampton and Foxy all fighting this wave of dust mite invasion.
Oh no, this is terrible, and certainly no place for Jamie Brickman. So Jamie runs, and by that I mean I transform into Captain Brickman.
Ahoy!
The best shot in the world. And thinking quickly, I'm going to try to improvise a firearm from a megaphone and one of those little cat pieces.
It's fantastic. It's right there. So go ahead and roll 3d6.
All right. I rolled a 6 and 2 3s.
Fantastic. So you hit with the 6, and the little piece flies across the room. We pan out to this room, and it's raining outside, and there's this child sleeping on their bed, and there's this little puff of dust that comes out from under the bed, while the hamster's moving about, and there's these 2 stuffed animals, and you see this tiny little minifig running across the ground, and then this little red peg flies off and hits some of the dust mites, and some of them just disappear. And then we zoom back into the action, and the music swells again, loud, and and that goes to Foxy.
Let's see. I'm going to I'm going to try to use my my space gun.
Fantastic. That's right, because you are a space princess.
I am a space princess.
Yep, you're space fox princess.
That's right.
Yeah. Billy's pretty creative for being the brave kid.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I guess that would be 2d6.
Mm-hmm. Actually, you are I think that's your no, yeah, it's 2d6. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Nope, I got 2 2s.
Okay. You fire your space space blaster, and the dust mites are just too fast for you. They get out of the way. They're just
Pew pew
Um,
pew.
pew pew pew.
Pew
Of course.
pew.
Pew pew. And then Penguin, you're a little bit ways away as well. You were kind of near where Jamie was when all this happened, and you turn around, still holding your Roosevelt log, and or maybe you've just put it in your pack, and you see ahead of you this commotion.
I have this Roosevelt log, and I look forward, and I see Jamie just take off past me, and I look down at Winston, and I go, Winston, to arms! And Winston will shoot water squirt, like squirt water out at some of the dust that's coming out, and then I'm gonna go in and like kind of unwieldy, like not really that great at it, but I'm gonna try to like start knocking some of the dust around. So yay, Winston!
Winston bounces forward, and then sprays dust. So go ahead.
Does not hit.
Oh,
So he sprays some dust, or he sprays water around, and starts to get the floor wet and stuff. And I start to swing the log around, trying to knock things in. Am I close enough that I need to use do I need to use a movement to get up to them, or are they far enough
Yeah.
out? Okay. Then I'll move in and then start to try to knock them in. I'm actually going to try to knock them into the water. A 4 will not do it though.
No. Alrighty. But you and Winston are like trying to corral the things. And all right. So the attack has just begun. Hampton, you're feeling better. It's back up to you.
There are still dust mites around me.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Okay.
yes, a big horde.
I am going to attack and evade.
Okay.
By evade, what my evade looks like, I don't care if they hit the ball, but I am going to try and spread out my legs when I'm not rolling the ball to cover the air holes.
Ah, good. Yeah, that's a very important thing.
So that's my evading.
Okay.
But I will make a standard attack on the nearest one and see if I can roll over it.
Okay.
And I rolled a 4 and a 2. Apparently,
Okay.
trying to cover the air holes and rolling the ball is difficult.
Very difficult. And then you're evading for your other.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and give me a roll of a 1d6.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no, never mind. Not right now.
Okay.
Oh, wait, yes. Actually, it is right now because it's the mites. So they are. Yes,
I rolled a 6.
Okay, fantastic. The mites try to like sneak into the air holes, but you're covering them up and you're pushing them out, so they can't. They can't get in.
Whack-a-mole. Only it's a game called Whack-a-mite.
That's right. Okay, and then we have. Let's see. Oh, and then they are going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Penguin. They are attacking you. Oh, and they definitely hit you. So you are covered in dust, and it looks like they're like burrowing in to like they're burrowing in between your seams, like trying to like pull your seams apart. So you take a point of damage, and you're just now dusty as heck.
No.
Yeah. All right. And up next is Bert.
Yeah. Who's near me? I've got Hampton.
Everyone is
Everyone's
nearby now.
Close to me.
Yeah.
Is everyone considered adjacent to me?
I think Hampton is probably still rolling around near you. I would say Foxy's adjacent. I don't think Brickman or Penguin are quite adjacent with you. They're a little farther on the other. They're near the end. They're near the foot of the bed. You're closer to like the middle of the bed.
They were using ranged weapons.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Well, I will go ahead and do my best to protect my allies that are near me. And I'm going to use my second evade action, which allows me to grant benefits to my nearby or my adjacent allies. So
Okay.
I'm going to try to protect Hampton.
Okay.
And let's see. When I do
Okay.
evade, I do it with 2d6.
Right. So what happens is until the beginning of your turn, any attacks, which will be the next round of dust mite attacks, anyone that's adjacent to you that gets attacked by the dust mites, like Hampton and Foxy, will get to roll 2d6 instead of 1d6.
Okay.
Because you're also protecting them with your shield.
Right.
Okay.
Ready.
And then what's your other action that you want to do?
Is that so? It's a 2 out of 2 on my sheet.
Oh,
does that mean?
Does that say what it?
For my second paladin action, when I take the evade action.
Oh no, it's just saying that's the second half.
The second one.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks, boss.
It's just the second. Yeah. It's the second half of that ability.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I do that. I have a 5 and a 1, so my 5 wins, and I can also attack from my position. So I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to try to knock some of these mites off of my bud Hampton here.
Okay.
So he can breathe through his air holes and stuff. All right. There's a 6 and a 1.
Okay, so the 6 works. So you just scrape the mites off of the Hampton's ball, and now it's uncovered now from the dust. And so that would be Jamie.
All right. I'm going to run up to Penguiny if I'm not already near him.
Okay.
And then can I focus Penguiny by giving him some fencing tips?
Yeah, that's totally fine. You can totally help someone else succeed at their test. That's
Penguiny, focus on your footwork and don't overswing.
That's so fantastic. So Penguin, your next attack test or your next skill test will succeed at a 4, 5, or 6. All right. That's awesome. Foxy.
Yes, I'm going to, let's see. So I am adjacent to Bert behind his shield currently. Is that right?
Yeah.
But I see, I'm going to shoot over and see if I can't get some of those dust mites off of Penguin if he is in range and I can see him and so forth.
Sure, yeah.
Also, when am I? I guess this comes with, but I'm proficient with my gun. But it says mastered weapon. Does that come with experience? That when I have a mastered weapon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then I will try to shoot some of these mites off of Penguin. Oh no! Double ones.
Fortunately, there's no critical failures.
That's good. No.
But not in this game. There are in like Tiny Cthulhu and other tiny games. But yeah, this one you're totally fine. It goes flying off and it's clear. Or it shoots, but like the dust mites get out of the way.
Right.
Foxy's a stormtrooper.
That's right.
clearly I am.
Yeah, you learned how to shoot from those Star Space Troopers. Yeah. And so they're like dodging out of the way. They're dust. It's like what they do. It's pretty terrible and annoying. And then finally, yeah, and you were, so that was your first action. What was your second action? If you want to, you can attack again.
Okay, well, I would like to attack again. See if I can't.
Sure, go ahead.
Change this up. 2 4s.
Okay. Yeah, you're just shooting wildly all over the place. Just, and the music swelling behind all of you. And then Penguin, is now your turn.
Okay. Is it an action to look for? So I'm looking for an overturned glass or a bowl, something to like shove the dust mites into that we could then like trap them.
Yeah, there's a glass. There's a long, like a tall glass, like a clear glass. It's like laying on the floor with like a slight residue of like water in the bottom, or Kool-Aid, slight
Okay.
residue of Kool-Aid in the bottom. And the fact that there's a glass on the floor, like if Billy's mom saw that, right? Like this, and like you see that it's like fallen off like one of the tables in Billy's room, and there's actually a crumb covered like small plate from like lunch yesterday or something. That's still sitting. It's like kind of teetering on the table up above. But yeah, on its side, long glass.
Okay. I'm going to look over at Jamie. I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna start like two-hand like kind of pseudo fencing carefully, but really just as much trying to corral the dust mites towards the glass.
Sure.
And that will be a 6. And
Fantastic.
then I will go ahead and attack again. So
Sure.
double action the attack with a 3. So that one will
Okay.
miss.
That's fine though, because the remaining dust mites, you get them all into the glass with your first attack. And if you and so you're kind of like keeping them there, and they're all like growling at you from the bottom of the glass, and they're turning slightly pinkish as the remaining Kool-Aid seeps into them. And in that moment, you hear something. It's so loud, like Billy's asleep, and you hear this noise that says, microclones, transform. And you see this like glowing lights from the other side of the bed, like play across the ceiling. And you hear like just really loud, like loud enough that you hear footsteps coming down the hall. And you just all kind of freeze for a moment. And the door opens and light spills down into the room. And Camille sticks her head in and says, Billy. And then she looks and sees that he's asleep. And she's like, oh, these toys. Oh my, oh. And she like looks around the room and like she sees the glass and like steps over all of you, picks up the glass and the plate and like just, oh. And then you hear Anna in the other like room like make a noise, and like Billy's been asleep for a couple hours and Anna is awake. You just like and so she turns around and rushes out the room and closes the door, and you still hear like the mechanical sound, but it's much quieter now, and it's on the other side of the bed. And then you hear the roar, the deep guttural roar of a dust bunny, also on the other side of the bed. So you're out of combat now because the dust bunnies on the side of the bed have been defeated. And if you want to, you can like rush to the other side to see what's going on.
Is this the sound of my mentor and hero, Robotus Primo?
It
Well,
is
of course
the sound
I'm
of
running
Robotus Primo.
as fast as I can. I won't even take the time to change my more fancy outfit.
Exactly. You make it around the corner first, Jamie, and everyone like piles in behind you, and you see Robotus Primo hanging in the air as a giant dust bunny holds Robotus Primo in its jaws. It's just giant like tumbleweed of dust and carnage and terrible glowing red eyes. And there's like tiny little dust mites like cheering around it, going, and Robotus Primo looks at all of you as he corrodes and like starts like his batteries wearing down, and you can see the battery acid like come out of his chest plate that is screwed shut, and he looks at all of you and says, "Get the eternity particle. You must save me." And he just stops, and he is now dusty and covered in like rust, like he's been like left out in the rain or something. Like he was immaculate looking just like seconds ago. And then as the dust bunny just like swoops into him and like disappears inside of Robotus Primo, and the other little dust mites, and then they drag him off under the bed.
No.
I assume that I cannot get there before that happens.
No. Yeah, that happens as you're like coming around the corner. That's like this whole like, he rusts and does this, and then the little dust mites run off. I think I said that they drag him under the bed, but they don't. They kind of like drag him over and then like drop him, and then
Hampton
dust
will
mites
try and slam up beside the bed.
of course, she's like, ah, yeah.
Pingy immediately runs over, tosses the log into his backpack, and pulls out the screwdriver to go see if he can do any repairs on
Robotus Primo.
Robotus
Yeah.
Primo.
Okay, so Robotus Primo has seen better days. You note that Robotus Primo is broken, but he's also corroded. So you use I'm not even going to make you roll. You use the screwdriver. The little rusted screw comes out. His chest plate pops open, and inside is the great eternal particle, and it is just foamed over with acid. This big thing, and it has the giant lettered E on the side of it for eternal particle, of course. And it's just like corroded there, and he's just like, staring out ahead of him, frozen in a sort of rigor mortis of seized gears.
You can bring him back, right, Pingy?
I need another, and like I need the other eternal particle to bring him back. Do I know offhand where I can get one? Or do I think I need to go to the basement to the device downstairs?
I know where we can get one.
The device downstairs, the large Linux ball tower would definitely, if you were able to get to the Dreamlands, use that to create a new Eternity particle. Foxy is knowledgeable, I believe.
I'm educated, so I know things.
Yes, educated. So they know something. So Foxy might have might have an idea.
Would Hampton know from running around the house?
Possibly, yeah.
I know that there's a toy that runs on that thing in the box.
So go ahead.
Big ones or the little ones? Is it 3 little ones or 2 big ones?
Yeah, this is one really big one. It's an E for
no.
eternal particle.
I mean, the other thing is, it might just be his time. Maybe we should just take him and throw him in the box.
Don't say that. Don't say that. He was always there for us.
Dare you?
Listen, better him than us. You know that the toy drive is coming up, and that box should be full.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Let me see what I can do before we jump to that conclusion. I think this should be easy enough with the right thing. I think I can do this.
I'll exit my ball and look for something to gnaw on.
There's plenty of stuff to gnaw on. There's lots and lots of Roosevelt logs.
It needs to be something that I can make a real mess with, because that's the only way to communicate with Billy that it's time to clean the room in my cage.
Are these what did you call them? Roosevelt logs?
Roosevelt logs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, these don't happen to be related somehow to Hampton, because there are these logs that are laying around possibly where maybe Hampton has been. Are these
No. These
logs?
are big reddish logs with like little cutouts.
Okay, just checking. Okay.
Yeah.
Fake news.
That's right.
Roosevelt logs and Hampton pellets.
There is a Foxy would know what it says on the cover of this book on Billy's nightstand. There is a book, and Foxy, you can see that it says Easy Reader Level 8, and it's some adventure story, and then you see that it's got a plastic tag on, like a plastic sticker on it that says like Carter Middle School number 68 on it. And clearly, this is like a library book.
Perfect.
And Hampton, you know that this is sort of the thing that,
Perfect.
we'll get Billy's
I will
attention.
attempt while you're all fixing the thing. I'm going to climb up and chew a book.
Okay. So Foxy, give me an education roll about knowing where eternal particles or eternity particles are.
And that's 3 dice, right?
Yeah, because you're educated. Yeah.
Right. A 2, a 1, and a 4.
Yeah, you've never heard tales. I mean, you've seen like, smaller particles, like the ones of the A rating and the double A,
Like
those
the ones
particles.
in my flashlight.
Right, exactly. But no one has ever seen such a massive, powerful thing as the eternity particle that was in the chest of Primo. So, Penguin, you are able to pull the destroyed particle out and remove all the acid. Like you have like a little brush that you pull from your backpack and you brush out all the acid and clean it out. But without a new eternity particle, you're not going to be able to bring Primo back. So,
If there's only one place we can get it, then we have to go there.
Well, it is worth the journey to the basement. And I start just grabbing things to throw into my backpack that I will randomly pull out and describe at a future point in time.
yeah.
And how late is it? Or is everybody going? Do we have to be concerned about Camille catching us?
Well, while you were all dealing with this did take a little while, especially with the chewing of the book. It's a very important, specific process that Hampton has to go through, to leave the proper particles in the route. The lights in the hallway turned off and the house got quiet. So you're pretty sure that everyone is asleep now in the house. So if you need to journey through the house, then you could do that now.
Also, before we go to the basement, Pengy, I noticed that some of your stuffing is showing. Did those dust mites hurt you?
I a little bit. And I look over at Winston and it's like, could you squirt? And like he squirts a little bit of water and I try to scrub it off, but it's not necessarily going away. I go, I could fix it myself, but it's not. It's our mission's more important right now.
Are you all planning? I'm finishing arranging the particles in a very particular set of piles to because that's how you communicate. Are you planning on going to the basement?
You've been to the basement, yeah.
It's nighttime.
It is.
If it was day, the gods would see us.
Yes, but at night the rat and the mice are out.
It's a rat.
It's a rat.
It's like a really big mouse.
It looks
or a very angry version of Hampton.
Right.
Oh,
with a longer
with
tail.
a long tail. With a very long
tail,
tail.
Bigger teeth.
I get it. That's
beady little red eyes. And they stink. Not like me.
not like you. A different kind of stink.
I smell like cedar.
Cedar? I thought I heard her.
Anyway, I do not recommend going to the basement at night.
Not only it's scary.
I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I can get down there myself in my hamster ball of doom. Getting back up is somewhat problematic. But you all do not have armor like I do, and you would be in trouble. Just saying.
I have my shield and I have my sword. I take my cloak and I like majestically whip it around my back and tie it in the front.
Fair enough.
Fair
enough. Yep. Bert and I work well together.
Yes, we do.
All right. So is it decided you're all going to go to the basement?
Unless there's another place to go that anybody can think of, that's
Well-
where Pingy is. Pingy knows that he can fix anything if he gets to the basement.
Box is on the way to the basement. Stop at the box first. See if there's one of these things
Okay.
there. Then
That's a good
have
idea.
to see the rat. Not that I'm afraid of the rat. I'm not afraid of the rat.
No one said you were afraid of the rat.
Okay. Good.
I did. I think he said he was afraid of the rat. I believe I've
Not
heard
afraid
that
of the
once
rat.
before.
Not afraid of the rat.
As you have this discussion as you go to Billy's door, and fortunately it's not completely latched shut, which is a good thing because it would be hard. You have someone climb up there and get the latch and hold the door open. Everyone gets out, and a whole process. So you're able to push the door open, and you begin walking down the hallway.
I'll get into my roller ball and roll.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're rolling along amongst them, amongst the other knights, and the whole house is dark and quiet, and it's rainy, so there's just kind of this like white noise of rain on the rooftop outside, and the floor is you're walking along a hardwood floor with like a long hallway runner down the floor, which is actually kind of askew, and it's got some like stains on it, because toddlers and children, and you are all you've just reached the front door, and there's the large box, and just past you're I should say you're in the foyer. There's the front door up ahead. There's like a window at the top of the front door, and you can see the lightning every once in a while from far away flash through the room as it rains outside, and there's like a street light pouring, with light coming through. Just to the left is the doorway to the basement, and at the base of that is the large box, and off to the right is a doorway to a garage. And you've just arrived at the box, and it's kind of a large box. It's definitely taller than any of you, so you're gonna have to climb up if you want to look in there. Who's gonna climb up? Okay,
Pingy will.
all right. So Pengy,
I give him a boost.
yeah, totally. You don't even have to roll. You just take your time. You boost up. You look down in the box, and the light illuminates the box. It's mostly empty. You see that there are some Diplo blocks that Billy is trying to get rid of, and it looked like Anna had chewed on them, so maybe Camille had like thrown them in the box there. There's several chattering teeth toys that they're just like this, and then there's a broken sword light that they got one time when they went to some like holiday parade thing, and it was like one of those little cheap things that worked for a day and then broke. So that's in the box right now.
How big is the sword light? Like, is it too big for like one of us to wield?
Oh yeah, it's too big for
Okay.
it's Billy sized, but it definitely has like it's got one of those particles in it, so it might be the right size.
Okay. I will go, and I will. The teeth are very easy to see that they're don't have a particle.
Yeah, the teeth are those wind up type.
Yeah.
Wait. We're not going to be able to boost you up. Take some rope.
I have rope.
Yeah, well, let's tie some rope to somebody.
I will, since I'm in the box, I will take the rope and just hold on to one end of it and then throw the rest over the other side.
As you throw the rest over the other side, a tiny chubby hand reaches out and grabs the string and pulls you up with it. And you are face to face with Anna, who is awake in the middle of the night. She has climbed out of her crib, and she is in her diapers and a little like onesie, and she's like, "Ha!" And she's got one hand. Like the fact that the rest of you like did not hear this child, like it. This is like a ninja toddler who very silently crawled down the carpet and like got there and was like, "What's this?" As this little string went flying up in her face, and she holds you up, and there you are hanging in the air, holding on to this string that Anna's like, "Ha!" Like googly noises at your face. So what do you all do? There is a child like amongst you, or right behind.
I immediately let go to fall back into the box.
Okay.
Smart.
I run over her foot, and then
Okay.
roll away.
Okay, so she's like down on her knees, so her feet are out behind her, and you're gonna roll over one of her.
Whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to bump into her foot, her knee, something, so she sees me, and then I'm going to roll away to try and pull her away from the toys.
Okay. All right. Give me a roll for this. Give me a 2d6 roll.
2 and a 1.
Okay. So you kind of bump into her, but she's so chubby she doesn't even notice, and you kind of like roll back a little bit. So what is everyone else going to do?
Can I run and jump off of Hampton's ball with my sword and stab this demigod in her diaper with my little sword here?
Sure, go ahead.
We've got to
That's
save
gonna be a
Angie.
move.
Hampton
Yeah.
is not going to sit still for that.
Well, roll towards her and give me a
That's
little.
going to be a disadvantage because Hampton is not letting you jump off of him to kill a god that he doesn't believe in.
Right here, Hampton. All right. So move
Mhm.
and
And
attack.
Yeah.
Here we go. Whoops. Well, that was a drop. 6.
I'm sorry.
I
What was that?
wish a 6. not
Okay.
3. I wish I
Right.
could show you guys these rolls. I feel like it's getting suspicious, but this
It's
is
all
really
good.
happening.
You leap off, and your small plastic sword, toy sword, like pokes her right above the diaper, and she goes from to, and her face turns to thunder and darkness. Foxy and
Okay,
Brickman, you're
mistake.
both there, like right there, and you're looking up at her face as it contorts from this like god of
Yes.
happiness to this just
To a very angry god
No.
baby.
yes.
What have you
Either you want
done?
to do anything right before, because this baby is about to explode.
Yes, I would like to. I have I gain advantage when trying to convince or influence someone.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say, no, 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 sweet baby. No, no, no. It's okay. No, no, listen. I have cookies in the kitchen.
Okay.
Would you
Give me
like
a
a
roll.
cookie?
Give me a roll.
A 5.
Okay.
A 5, a
All right.
4, and a 1.
Okay. Brickman, is there something you wanted to do?
This has gone very south, so I think I need to be the emergency. So I'm going to
Okay.
invoke one of my extra forms, which is a very ingenious design. It is a replacement leg for one of the coffee table legs. And I'm just going to camouflage right in.
Okay. So you are now a coffee table leg right there. Yeah, fantastic. The small god child is just about to scream, and it starts to, it goes like that, which is just piercing. But then it looks down, and Foxy says about cookies and everything, and go and like leans down and like
Yes,
Foxy
yes, a
up,
cookie.
and then like noms on your head. Not like there's no teeth, right? So it's now you're just your head is wet. And it's like holding you. And
No, you filthy beast. I mean in the kitchen.
and this goes on far too long for your to save any like face for this. You're getting nommed. But about maybe 30 seconds later, the hall light, like there's you hear the door of the parents' bedroom open, and the hall light switches on, and the hallway is lit with light, and Camille looks her head out and goes, Anna? And then she sees Anna and goes, oh my God, child, it is far too, you should not, how did you get out of bed? And she's just kind of incoherent. She picks her up. She sees all the toys about, and she grabs, she's like, this is not yours, and pulls Foxy's wet head out of Anna's mouth, and then puts you in the box, takes Bert and everyone, and then sees Hampton's hamster ball. Doesn't seem to be very clear. Grabs hamster, the ball, and puts it in the box, and then
damn it,
walks down to the hallway to the child's room, puts the child in there, turns off the hall light, closes the door, and you know that it's going to be a while before she comes out because she's going to have to put Anna back to sleep.
Winston, you're not going to do me any good in here. And I pick Winston up and I throw him back out of the box.
Okay, that's fine. Do we have about 15 more minutes before
We do. We
done?
have 15
Okay.
minutes until we're over with the session.
So I'm going to say you make it out of the box. You make it down the stairs.
I will exit the ball and chew a hole.
Okay, that's fine. You can also check in the sword of light. There are particles, but they're expired. They're leaking a little bit of acid themselves.
Gross.
Yeah.
I shove them back in the sword and just leave it where it is.
Yeah. And you're able to open the door to the basement. And the basement is creepy and dark. And but there is a light on, like downstairs in the back. It's like like for the laundry area. There's this like light that stays on all night. That's like nightlight sort of thing. So you can see the stairs, and you all bounce down the unfinished stairs, and you can see the like the internals of the walls and like the what is that called? Not the siding, but the
Insulation.
The insulation. Yes, that's the word. You see the insulation in the walls, and you come downstairs, and there's this like large like folding table with folding chairs around it, and then up against the wall there's a series of bookcases with a bunch of board games on there. And at the base, between two of the bookcases, there's a small hole in the wall. And then over on the left side, there is an area with more, what are they called? Linux. Yeah, there's a box of Linux, which were probably Camille's or maybe Billy's dad, one of the two, and that was their stuff, but Billy's like been playing with it. And it was a box of like previous stuff that hadn't been opened, and Billy recently opened it and built this ball tower. And then off farther, even like kind of behind the stairs, there's where the light is coming from. There's the laundry area, and there's a sewer grate over there, like a drainage grate. And you can smell the detergent and like the kind of like the mildewy smell of like, this old washer and dryer and whatnot. And also you hear the hum of the hot water heater that's down here as well, and like an air exchange and a heater exchange. So there's like that whole sort of like mechanical hum going on right now. So yes.
Can I finish healing Pengy?
Yeah, if you want. If
I'm
Pengy's
still lacking a hit point. I'd like to take some of this pink stuffing out of the walls, and I go to Pengy and I'm like, your stuffing's getting a little thin there, pal. Let's fix it.
Don't eat the pink stuffing. Don't.
I nom the pink stuffing. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, and I actually pull out a small sewing kit. And as you hand it to me, I will take it and aid you in.
May I?
Just like
stuffing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now I'm an overstuffed penguin.
That's right. And you're very warm. You're very warm.
And a little itchy.
Okay, I'm done.
So what do you see? So you see the Linux ball tower over there.
So
what are you all going to do?
Hampton does not believe in the powers of the Linux tower. So Hampton will instead stand guard by the sewer grate to make sure the rat doesn't come out and beat on his buddies.
Okay. All right.
And I'll head straight towards after Bert has healed me. I will head towards the tower. Just make a beeline straight for the tower.
Okay. Yeah.
I will.
Oh yes. Go ahead. Yes.
Turn into my ninja outfit and sneak over to the tower. Or if there's an electrical thing we got to turn on, I'll sneak over to that instead.
There is. Yes.
Yeah, I'll sneak over to the switch.
Just as you arrive at the switch and you go to take your little hand out to like switch the switch. Yes, exactly. You hear a chittering noise The Linux Tower is mostly in shadow, and as you approached it, you could all feel the power of the Dreamlands come over you, and the tower kind of transform into this magnificent, glowing copper and brass contraption where you put this like ball of energy in, and it transforms stuff, and then whatever it is that you're trying to get comes out. And you see Hampton, you look over towards your friends, and just you realize that you're not guarding the right spot, because on top of the box where all the Linux pieces are is a tall, furry, toothy creature with a top hat. And he says, "Who's touching my machine?" And you see this rat, and it's Richard the rat. He's kind of a jerk. But he doesn't go by Richard. But he has a vest on with like stripes, pinstripes, a fancy vest with bright buttons, and this like shabby top hat. And he's he's got his tail, and he's kind of like swinging his tail around. "Who's going there to touch my machine?" And he kind of like standing there, like staring down at all of you. Oh, and he's got like a walking stick too.
This machine should be for anybody, and we need to use it.
He
He
perched on the
probably
top.
hasn't noticed you because
It belongs in a museum. Oh, wait, sorry, wrong genre.
He's perched on the top of the Linux Tower.
Richard the rat is on the box next to the Linux Tower. Everyone else is around the base of it. Brickman, being in their ninja outfit near the switch, is in the shadow. So when, I'm assuming when Richard the rat, spoke, Brickman suddenly became one with the shadow. Shinobi.
Okay. I'm going to attack the bottom of the box.
Okay.
With as much force as I can build up.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
And if I happen to go past Bert, I might ask Bert to give me a hand.
Sure.
I still have 2 at the moment.
That's right.
Just smack the ball as I go past.
All right.
Does that by any chance give me any advantages?
Of course. You can go ahead and roll 3d6 for this.
Good. I will double my attacks. I have the ability of Furious Tenacity.
Yes.
Double the number of attacks I have, so I'll make 2 attacks on the box.
Yep.
And the first one, I roll a 5 and a 6 and a 3. And the second one, I roll a 3, a 6, and a 6.
Fantastic. You slam into the box. The box side crumples under the furious rage of the hamster, and the rat tumbles down amongst all of you. Is oh, of course. If you really needed the box up, the machine that badly, you should have just said something. I'm happy to trade. Happy to trade.
I will take whatever. While I was scrummaging for stuff upstairs in my bottomless backpack, I pull out some food remnants and stuff that was in Billy's room. And so I go, "Oh, trade, okay," and I start rummaging around. And I find whatever food remnants I pull out, and I give him some cookies or crackers.
Well, this is very kind. He starts looking kind of like greedy. He's like, his lights light up, and this is very kind, and would normally pay for your ability to approach the machine. But since you're already here, I need some other form of payment for whatever it is you take from my glorious Linux machine. And he looks over at Hampton and says, "The ball will do." Now, he's obviously trying to be greedy and take more than what has been offered to him. So if any of you want to try to convince him otherwise, that, you could totally do that if you'd like.
I point my space gun at him.
Oh.
And say, "The ball stays with us."
He's like holding all the food. So go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
I think you're
Can
charismatic, are you not?
turn on the machine as Foxy is saying this to make it seem like total control of the situation?
Yeah, totally. That's fantastic.
Two
So
fives
Foxy,
and a 2.
you can roll. Well, okay, fantastic. Yeah. So he's like, okay, fine. I'll take the food. This one time though, one time, and he like scurries off with the food. And you are able to turn the machine on. You take one of the red plastic balls, you put it into the machine. Of course, here, in this like shimmery area between, the Billy's house and the Dreamland, the ball glows with this light, this inner light. And you place it in the machine, and it does all this whirring and clanking, and steam comes out of it, and then it goes ka-chunk, and this little like metal door pops open, and out rolls small little gumballs, and also a Eternity Spark, rated E. And your journey back towards the bedroom is without problem. You make it back. You're able to put in the Eternity Spark. I say Spark. The Eternity Particle. Yeah.
Hampton, we're able to use rope, and I actually grabbed a couple of the teeth out of the box, and I pulled those out of my backpack and attach it to the ball, and so we're able to kind of thump you back upstairs.
You put the little teeth in the air holes, so temporarily, while you don't have more air, you can become like this treaded ball or something.
Okay, as long as
we're running out of time, so I'm just trying to get us to like.
As long as I get up the steps.
Yeah, totally. You make it back to the room, and you're able to put the Eternity Spark into Primo, and he like Eternity Particle. Oh, much thanks to you, Knights of Underbed. You have saved me once again from the dreaded dust mites. And he stands up and does a sound, and lights glow and flash about. And yeah, you have saved the day. The next morning, the mom comes in to look at the room and says, Billy, I really don't want to have to tell you about cleaning your room. And Billy sees the Jude book, and he says, I'll handle it. So he cleans the room up. He finds plenty of Roosevelt logs and other things that he doesn't use anymore, and he puts those in the box. And then the mom takes the box to the school and drops it off, and all of you plus Primo are safe from the point. And I'm going to end it there because we have about 3 minutes left before the end of the session. If we had another 2 hours, I would have done so much more. But that was fantastic. So I hope everyone enjoyed the time. And if you have any questions or comments or anything, go ahead. You can hit me. And I know we're only going to stream for a couple more minutes, so we can talk, now. And also, if you need to talk after the stream, that's fine too. So, do you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or ideas, or anything like that?
Quick comment. That was awesome, Ben.
That was fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed.
So much fun.
Awesome.
What age groups have you seen this, or how have you used maybe this particular role-playing game with interventions?
I'm not a therapist, but I am the designer. So I've play tested this with a bunch of different groups. I specifically, when I was playtesting this, took this to a convention down in Tucson, Arizona, where they have a kids track, and they have an actually very healthy kids track. So there's lots of kids. And I ran this for the youngest child I've ever run the game for was a 3-year-old who was just verbal. And they basically played their stuffed toy that they had brought with them. And their mom was there to help them along. But they had fun and they had a great time. We only played for I think 30 minutes with those kids because their attention span is very short. But I've run this from 3-year-olds to adults. I've done a lot more with 6, 7, 8-year-old kids. They really love this game, and they can really get it. The book itself, like I talked about, and you've seen the rules, they're really short. This is basically all the rules in the book, and I've actually gone a little bit farther because then there's character creation, and then basically there's some GM advice, and then I think it's right about here. the rest of the book is all settings and expanded rules and ideas. So there's rules for characters like Brickman and stuff for like the Transformer type stuff, and like living animals like dogs and cats and ferrets and weasels and hamsters. And then there's all sorts of setting stuff. So there's like places, like there's like a whole description of Underbed and like the goblin market, the night market that goes on there, and just like different places in the dreamland, and like monsters playing like good monsters who have decided they're going to go help kids now, and all sorts of different things. And there's actual adventures in there too. So it's all, so you can play this. There's like stuff in here. There's content in here that's like for kids of all different ages, but there's also like adult stuff. So you can get like really scary themes. Like some of the nightmares are definitely not like younger kid friendly, because we have like La Llorona and the Banshee and Opa Nacht, and what else do we have in here? I'm trying to think of
Five Nights with Freddy.
Yeah, you could totally do that sort of thing. I mean, I think one of the creepiest monsters in here is the Not Your Parents set of monsters.
Yeah, from Coraline.
Yeah. And so there's also, and Bloody Mary is in here. So here are some of the different like creatures. Opa Nacht will, has his bag that he carries over his shoulder, and naughty children who are outside at night, he will throw them in his bag or snip off their heads, that sort of thing. That's a little bit more like not for the younger set. Yes, go ahead.
So what was the build the setting thing we did? Is that a normal thing you suggest to engage kids, or is that just something you did for funsy with us?
There's rules for it in the book. And they're a little bit like, tonight I changed it up a little bit as far as like the rules exactly that are in the book. But I've been using that sort of type thing for like to set up for like convention games and whatnot. And it does help a lot with engaging kids. Like It definitely brings them into the setting and story because it makes it theirs. It helps with adults too, because like seriously, same issue. Like they're like, oh, well, what do we do now? And it's like, well, there's all these things you've created now, so let's do that stuff that you've created. And it really helps with buy-in and like getting people into the story. And just with a little bit of practice as a GM, you can make this work for yourself. John Wick came up with so John Wick made a new, like a sort of refined version of it. He called years ago called the Dirty Dungeon. And I say refined because now I've forgotten his name. The guy who created a Pendragon role-playing game, he came up with the original idea of having like players create stuff for his stories. And oh my gosh, what is his name? Greg Stafford. There's literally a rule in the gaming industry called Stafford's Law, which is if you think you've come up with a new concept or game rule for a role-playing game, you didn't. Greg Stafford came up with it in the 70s or 80s while he was very high. And it's a fantastic rule, whatever it was, right? So it's very serious. Like Greg Stafford came up with all sorts of groundbreaking stuff. So that was like the Dirty Dungeon idea, and that's something that I like refined and put into World of Do, which was my very first role-playing game I did. And then I know that like the Dresden Files role-playing game took something like that, and they put that in their thing. And then Knights of Underbed has it, and there's a couple of other games I think that have this sort of like buy-in type thing too.
Yeah, Kids on Bikes is very much like that.
Yeah.
Where we have to design, the setting and the rumors and all various things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're awesome. I'm in part of like a writing group, like a large writing group of people that with those guys, and they're fantastic. Kids on Bikes is a fantastic game, and there's tons of hacks for it too. So if you want like kids on broomsticks, or kids in spaceships, or kids in mecha, types like, and some of it's unofficial content, but there's all sorts of fun stuff that you can do with Kids on Bikes as well. So yeah, I'm a big fan of their stuff. So yeah, are we still streaming?
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay. I never opened up the streaming thing. I was too busy doing other stuff. So
thank you so much, Ben. Greatly appreciated. It was a blast.
Yeah, Ben, good stuff.
Thanks everyone.
We're going to move the stream over to another channel to do a raid. So just hold on one quick second. We'll do that.
Sure. No problem.
Thanks.
I appreciate
Get raiding, guys.
Your system is extremely easy to use, easy to teach, and your character sheets are half a page. So that's All good selling points when dealing.
You can actually use 3x5 cards,
Yeah.
and the character you used these characters I all made a specific